soil degradation, natural resource depletion, overpopulation. I will explain all this later. You can have deforestation, and so on and so forth. Just to explain a little bit on some of these. Soil degradation, how will it happen? For soil to degrade, it means loss of value, basically. Soil degradation is loss of value, loss of nutrients, for example. And sometimes it results from overuse. Sometimes lack of crop rotation, overuse, lack of crop rotation, use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides. All those things can reduce the quality of the soil. It can reduce the quality of the soil. So you have soil degradation. This is a major problem, for example, for poor households. For people who have got limited amount of land. They cannot afford crop rotation, for example. But it can also happen to rich countries because they are using a lot of chemicals and pesticides. So soil degradation can happen for many reasons. What about natural resource depletion? That one is obvious. The crisis will come as the depletion of natural resources if you are not following the current capacity of the environment. You will end up having your natural resources being exhausted or depleted. And therefore, what are the consequences? If you are based in your development based on availability of natural resources, you no longer have natural resources at your disposal. Overpopulation. Why is overpopulation considered one of the environmental challenges or that will happen? Why is it? But you should also look at it as it's a lifestyle, right? Why does it happen? It happens because of improved quality of life. Remember, we said the environment enhances our quality of life. Now, it means we can use the environment to make medicines, to make a lot of healthcare decisions, to build more hospitals. So, what that means is that we are also making people live longer. We are making people more fertile because they are using more better eating methods and enhances their fertility. All that now becomes, the byproduct of that is that now you live longer and you start multiplying more. Very less people dying. So for example, we talk about progress because we say there are lower maternity deaths, there are lower infant mortality. Remember, some of those are also indicators of development. And access to education, all those are access to information, all those are indicators of improved life, but it can also create a crisis. Because the earth is not expanding, but we are beginning to be more because of this. The environmental resources that have been provided to us to enhance our quality of life can also have a byproduct, which can be overpopulation. Byproduct of us living longer and eating more healthy food and not getting sick often and knowing, some of the information is difficult for me to explain, but I'm sure you can explain amongst yourselves. Yes, talk and then, because certain things you can say in the lecture, right? Boundaries, about lifestyle, because of our practice. But because of the improved lifestyle we have, one of the byproducts can be overoperation. Okay? But you can debate amongst in your free time. Deforestation, that one is obvious. If you are cutting trees more than the trees can grow back, well, you at the end of the day you have no trees. And the other one is issues of global warming, what they call global warming. And the challenge. What is global warming?
Excessive heat than normal.
Excessive heat?
Yeah.
give us another explanation.
The variable things on Earth which destroys the ozone layer and causes the ultraviolet rays to be coming to us direct.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the HFC he's talking about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Global warming is basically an increase in the average temperature. An increase in the average temperature of the atmosphere. That's the definition of global warming. Global warming means an increase in the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. Okay? So it's an increase in the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. That's what global warming is. This thing here, that global warming, so it's an increase in average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. So, how is it caused? This increase in average temperature, how does it come about? Normally, what we talk about is that it's due to the greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect. It happens due to greenhouse effect. What do we mean by greenhouse effect? Greenhouse effect is where gases from various human activities, trap the heat from solar radiation. So these are gases from various human activities. The activities that we do, so byproducts of whatever we do, whether we're manufacturing or we're burning petrol, diesel, whatever, especially those gases. Whether you're buying wood, you produce these small open gases. Whether it's a plane, a car, or machines, you're burning diesel, petrol, the gases you're producing. From all of these human activities, the gases that you are producing, they go up there. They go into the air. And interfere with radiation, solar radiation. I'm not a scientist, I'm an economist, so I may not actually be a good person I'm not very competent to discuss some of these, because these are science matters. This issue about air and radiation. You seem to know a lot about environmental issues. Are you a scientist?
No, I was just good at secondary school.
Ah, you were good at environmental agriculture. Very good. So these gases, they understand they trap the heat. They trap the heat from solar radiation. They will trap the heat from the solar radiation, and that increases the temperature of the Earth's atmosphere. Okay? So when we burn diesel and blah blah blah, these gases go up in the air and they trap the heat from solar radiation. So when they are trapping that heat from solar radiation, it has the effect of increasing the average temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, and it causes warming. It is called global warming. We will discuss more later on what are the measures, for example, how can you avoid global warming, what are the effects of global warming on the environment, and so on and so forth. There are other small things, though sometimes they are considered as major, that we may want to look at some more. The little things that we should be concerned about, one of them is food. Behavior of especially developed countries. There is this issue about what we call affluent consumption and affluent consumption and production. It's another environmental crisis that emanates from the use of resources. This is basically an issue with developed countries. I don't know whether we can have examples of people who have traveled around here. When you look at the way our colleagues in America, in Europe, and in Asia, the way they eat, their consumption lifestyle has created a lot of waste. There's food waste, a lot of food waste, for example, with our colleagues. And this is one of the things that, if you have been following up on the climate change talks that happen between countries, there's this thing about developing countries saying, no, you rich guys should pay for polluting the earth. You are the ones who are causing environmental challenges. This climate change thing is because of your doing. Because these countries, for them to develop, there were two things that happened that are major challenges. One is the issue of the industrial boom. Industries just started springing up from nowhere. Okay? The industrial boom. So industrial boom means that they were using, and especially in Europe, they were using a lot of coal to produce, to run these factories. So they produced a lot of fossil fuels. They were using a lot of fossil fuels to meet this industrial boom. So they created a lot of gases, for example. You have heard of the Green Revolution. You have heard of industrial booms in Europe, where they also there was a lot of migration. You also saw a lot of black people from Caribbean, from Africa, going to Europe to work in these factories and blah blah blah. Their development was based on resource use of resources for them to develop. So this industrial boom is one major item. But later on, now, they have tried to find renewable sources. So they went to nuclear, for example. They went to other sources like geothermal and all that. But the pollution is still happening. And when you combine this industrial boom and then this affluent consumption and production, you have a major problem. if you look at a lot of studies even now they have improved their life expectancy, maybe quality of life, but there are also a lot of challenges in their head. For example, you get a lot of a huge percentage of Americans or British are obese. They are so fat and obese. Due to this affluent consumption, they take a lot of cakes, biscuits, hot dogs, and chips, and it's the lifestyle of this affluent consumption. It creates a lot of I don't know how I can put it, but it's causing not only damage to the environment but also to people. But our concern here is to the environment. So this affluent, I don't know whether you can call it maybe as Malawian, not like me, because I'm a Malawian, but I think differently from some of these foods. Okay? But I think a lot of us believe these are very fast food. Exactly, don't eat. Because chips do not show you and such, it's because of the oil. So if you want to enjoy the potatoes, you can enjoy potatoes in a different way. You can have it mashed, you can have it baked, you can have it roasted, but not when you are putting too much oil on it. That's the cheap part. If you feed your children with a lot of chips and sausages, I'm a neighbor with you. Because you have money, you can feed. So our bodies are struggling because there's too much food, all types of foods, because of the level of development they are. One time I've lived in America, I've lived in Britain, I've lived in Denmark. When I'm saying I've lived there, it means I've stayed more than a year. One particular country which I found amazing was Denmark. People are very cautious about their health, unlike in the US. Very cautious. But the freedom to choose what you want to eat is there. There's so much freedom. You can go to shop many shop prices. You would find chefs, maybe the whole of this wall. My chef walk my free gin, my child. So this is only bread. Zongo pack up a bread, different types. You move a long shape. My shape body, you can't believe that section is just section bread spread. Then you can get them from the milk products, animal products, plant products. So you choose. Kuma zima kuma kwa mbili zao za mbili leo katika ila wazotezi zima kuma kwa mbili za miki. Especially if you want to avoid sugar things, because breast fed out, they are just like masala, they are meant to put on bread. Carrots, cut in very tiny pieces, the yogurt, therefore spreading on your bread. Kumaleni kakonda the dish they call it liver postai. That's delicious. It means liver bread spread. So they take that liver and you can choose which type of liver, whether you want liver from chickens or from goats or from whatever, or cows. They zima kana zo machika tinene butter. I like it, especially with toast plate. Makarabi no one be. Koma any akeo amalaya with this is not good. For health, because it's meat. It's made from meat. So and that to say the truth, anyway, I'm sorry to digress and give you a personal example, but this is a major problem. And our colleagues are indeed the major culprits in terms of spoiling our climate change, our climate. So, food waste is one area which is very deep. There is also another one which is called biodiversity loss. Biodiversity loss, meaning you have how I can explain it. Biodiversity basically means a diversity of living matter. Okay? Diversity of plants, animals, like, for example, ecosystem. You have heard about ecosystem where the forest and let's say Malawi, you have, if you go to Rwanda, you have water, and then in the water there you will find some fish live on another fish. Okay? And if that was not happening, then these other fish which provide food to the other fish will become too much overpopulated. So there's this balance, they check on each other. So for example, in the bush, if there were no lions, you would have too many antelopes. Okay? To the extent that they will be eating on all the grass and it can cause the forest to die. If there were no lions there. Because the lions are the ones which are eating antelopes, so they are checking the population. So you can have a balance. So a snake has got in the bush has got a role to play. An elephant has a role to play. An elephant will eat a lot of this vegetation, but it can also produce a lot of poo. Okay? And fertilize for new grass to grow. This is what they call biodiversity. And that's how, if you are religious, you would say, otherwise there will be danger if that check and balance is not there. So sometimes, for example, from overpopulation, if you have too many people who are living on what the forest is providing, you are likely to find that there will be an overuse of the resources found in the forest. And therefore, certain species will go extinct. So if there is overhunting, for example, one animal will die off, will become extinct. So there will be loss of biodiversity. I don't know whether I'm explaining these scientific things properly, but another very recent, also arising from development and affluent production, is the issue about plastic pollution. It's one of major problems in the environment today. Plastic pollution, because most plastic cannot be decomposed, so the environment cannot absorb it back. Most plastic will live more than 100 years before they can decompose. Most plastic. So you can imagine that when we go out there to buy things hapa kajumbo, kawagura ndasi au kuikira mkajumbo kwa plastic, you throw it away. Those plastics, they never decompose. The environment cannot consume them, cannot turn them into soil. They can't be turned into soil. So either you burn for you to, now when you are burning, you are creating gases, air pollution, and then you produce greenhouse gases. Yes. That will now lead to global warming. So plastic pollution is a very recent major problem. All coming from this issue about progress in production and consumption. Some of these challenges, I think in Malawi we can talk about our own, but in some of these poorer countries, for example, North Pole and the right, they are complaining about issues of melting of ice caps and sea level rise. So I think there are some animals which benefit from living on the ice, frozen land, and then melting of ice also has the impact of increasing the levels of water in the sea. But some of these things are not, they are just to us here, they are very active with sitting on the owners of, but maybe it affects us in one way or the other. There's another issue being raised by these environmentalists who will discuss. There is another topic later on about environmentalism. It's about ocean acidification as one challenge. Acidification. Ocean acidification. Understand it is caused by global temperature rise in global temperature. It's something to do with carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, which is released into the Earth's atmosphere, this carbon dioxide are what we refer to as carbon emissions. Carbon emissions from factories, I think, most of them. When you burn something, one of the byproducts is carbon dioxide, right? So this carbon dioxide is released into the Earth's atmosphere. So a higher concentration of this carbon emissions gets absorbed back into the sea. I did it. I think for us, this is the way they are explaining it. I don't know why they find it a problem, but the problem is related to some aquatic life, such as what they call coral reef. You've heard of coral reef? Yeah, have you heard of coral reef?
No.
If you've been watching my documentaries under Geographic Channel or Discovery, who here is a fan of watching on DSTV, watching Geographic Channel or Discovery. This coral reef there is some life under the sea, a lot of algae and plants, but under the sea.
Yeah.
So when you dive, you see a lot of, it's like a garden. You have these different types of fish, sometimes different colors of fish, and they live on these algae, and they call them coral reef. Coral reef or coral reef, I don't know. Okay? I think they call them coral reef. So the leaves get affected by these carbon dioxide that get absorbed by the sea, and they affect quality of life of the habitat, meaning coral reef. I think ocean acidification means the oceans become more acid. Okay? Their pH changes. Okay? You know what pH level is?
Yeah.
So the pH changes, and that affects the life of these, the habitat of these people who live on these seabeds and things like that. So for environmentalists, that they find this a problem because it changes the pH, the pH levels in the marine life. Okay? I think what I see in this article, some of the things are, for example, the things that they are mentioning is, I don't know how big the problem is, but one of the environmental challenges is fast fashion and textile waste. Fast fashion, meaning, and to match the fashion, go bad, very fast, and create textile waste. Fast fashion and textile waste. Okay? So to me, that is maybe a challenge as it relates to resource use. We change from one fashion to the other, and it induces textile waste as a concern, as the environmental concern. Okay? Fast fashion and textile waste. So if you wanted to mention a lot of things, we can go on and on. Yeah. But the major ones are the ones we mentioned earlier, like pollution, irrigation, blah blah. To me, those are big ones. These other things, maybe for if you look at industrial scale, maybe it can be a problem that people change fashion. Within 1 year they change fashion twice, and it creates, I think, textile waste. And this textile waste can also mean challenges with absorption capacity of the environment. I think if we let it to absorption capacity, then it becomes a big concern for you people who are studying the environment and sustainable development. Then there's another one which is overfishing and overgrazing. Those are the same. They produce the same concern because it leads to depletion of resources. Okay, which is the challenge. Depletion of resources. Overfishing. So if you wanted to take this in an example, one of the things you can mention is these easy things. I mean, you can easily explain instead of ocean acidification. You might have problems with explaining, but things like overgrazing, overfishing, okay, easy to explain. Overfishing depletes resources. Easy. And I don't have to explain overfishing. Another environmental thing that is people are talking about now, I don't know whether sometimes these people who are writing these things, they don't want us to catch up with them. So they have mentioned one thing such as cobalt mining as a challenge. Cobalt. Mining. You are heard of this cobalt, eh? cobalt is used for kupangira mabattery kama direct kwa car. Kama kupangira mabattery kama kupangira chani. Yeah, Museveni, we're talking about it kwa Uganda kuja they are mining cobalt. Dipina sikani kuchika ya kandi. DRC kind. They want not somebody to go and mine and take away the resources, but they want to be exporting batteries. Then, the Mufuna cobalt watu, you mining license is not going to be given to you to take the freedom of process one of my battery damage to the research. No, they are even producing electric cars now in Uganda.
Yes.
Hey, I'm sure you have seen it in social media. So, because it's now a new trend into electrical cars as one way of solving some of these greenhouses, emission of greenhouses from cars and right. And so people think that electric cars are more environmental friendly. They are better, they are clean than Magamo and diesel or petrol. Electric cars are not going to produce smoke and all that. Okay? So one of the very key components in the electric car operation is this cobalt thing. So because of this, this particular mineral has become all of a sudden in high demand. It might, yeah, it is. Cobalt is a key component of battery materials that power electric vehicles. Yeah, I was right. Cobalt is facing a sustained surge in demand as decarbonization efforts progress. Okay? So, all of a sudden, for many where cobalt is found, these developed countries, China, Europe, China, Russia, they have put their eyes on those countries, many basic cobalt. I think in Zimbabwe too. So they have all their attention. These people right to take away our resources here in Africa. So they are all going to Uganda and all Zimbabwe to try to take this raw material so they can make electric batteries for electric cars. So this surge in demand is likely to cause an environmental crisis. The resource is now receiving a lot of pressure because of its use. Yeah, so it's DRC and Uganda and all those. So there will be a lot of environmental and social issues related to mining of this mineral. The notes that I will share, you will see a lot of those. I think maybe from next week, because I already have notes for the whole course. Because I was teaching last year now. So I'm just adding a few more things. And then so when I will be sharing, you have the whole folder with so many articles that you can read. I didn't want to share these very early in the course because Lana Elani Mutagapasani Batumatia those you start saying,
people in this class select me.
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, then I was so sad of Mom, okay, so, makeup class you want to want that? Because, for the suggestion is that, yeah, Wednesday. With Monday. Wednesday, but it's about Wednesday, 1 o'clock. If you want Monday is Saturday. If you want Monday is Saturday. It's Saturday 8 o'clock. Why? Sini boda bana subject. Makosa 8 o'clock.
This is not a lot.
Oh, what is that? What is it? Kuma.
Also, that's a happy. Also, the real one.
Sangarole.
One happy. I'm just a person that make up a exam of happy.
Mumfute will amaziwa. To the university, the men of the kind put it outside. Put it in the investing around. What is it for this one? How you have that? At half 8 to half 10. Who's saying that to you? Oh, okay. Oh, it's not very last time.
No, I think so.
Yeah.
No, sir. Next week I'll give you. That's mine. That's mine.
I'll